I promise you, all of my people pleasers, my doormats, my black sheeps, y'all are gonna rise. Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Today we are going to be doing another girl to woman video, and I really want to help you guys grow into that woman, that dream woman that you've wanted to become. There's a lot of things that we need to touch on, and I'm going to be sharing some personal stories, some tips, tricks, and hacks, and this video should serve you as a reminder, as a life check, and as just a daily affirmation. So don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe down below and follow me on Instagram. All right, let's get into it. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is moving on from relationships that are no longer serving you. I probably get this question asked the most, like how to do it, what are the steps that you take, blah, 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 blah. And the truth of the matter is, it's not easy. It's not a quick decision. It's not a decision that, is required one time and then you're good from there. No, it's a decision you make every day, even after you've made the decision. It's something that has to do with something greater than your current state. When you are choosing to move on from a relationship that isn't serving you, and you guys know better than me the situations that you guys are in. I can't speak to you, but let's just say you outgrew the relationship, you're not in love with this person anymore, they don't treat you right, they're not giving you the care and love that you deserve. It is time to move on. You guys have to do that in order to grow. If you stay in things like this that are not serving you, it's just not smart, okay? You need to let the low vibrational people be with the other low vibrational people. That is something that I do whenever I move on from a situation. I say to myself, he's better for someone else, okay? I am too much. He is better for someone else. You guys need to start telling yourself this. Build that grit, build that strength. I was speaking to a girl. I met her. She's not like a friend of mine or anything, but she's like a friend of a friend of a friend. And she was like a little bit drunk and going on a tangent about her current situation. I believe she's been with her man for like 10 years. And, she had asked me like, oh, have you ever been in a long-term relationship? Like, what's the story? And I was like, yeah, actually I was in a very long-term relationship, 7 years to be exact. And yeah, I moved on. I actually broke up with him 2 years ago. And yeah, I'm living my life. And she was so deeply offended. Like, she was like, well, what did he do? Like you didn't want to stay and work it out. You couldn't and it's just like, whoa. Okay. First and foremost, I rebuke anybody that I don't know trying to pry my personal business. That's number one. Number two, no. Surprisingly enough, my love, you do not have to break up with someone because they did something catastrophic, drastic, horrific to you. Sometimes it's just two different people who need to go two separate ways. This is something you guys need to learn. You guys are always trying to rationalize in your head, well, he's really nice, and well, he's so smart. I'm oh, he has such a great family. It's but do y'all work? Let's just cut to the chase. Do you work? Is this going to work long term? Do you see yourself marrying this person? Do you see yourself happily married with this person? If the answer is no, baby, you know what you got to do, okay? That is it. That is all. That is literally my sentiment always. I don't understand why we live in a world where something crazy, intense, lying, cheating, all of this stuff needs to happen in order for their relationship to be over. Another thing that I want to touch on, and I have this written down, closure is not real. You create the closure. There are plenty of times in situations that you're going to be in, whether it's a short-term situation or a long-term situation, where you didn't get the closure or the validation or the apology that you needed in order to move on. But the truth is, you're just telling yourself that lie. You give yourself the closure, okay? How to give yourself closure, you may ask? By saying, you know what, he showed me who he was and I didn't like it. There's nothing for us to say to each other that's going to change my mind. He can't apologize enough for what he had done. There is literally no conversation that is so good that I'm going to feel that much better, okay? I'm not saying that you guys can't have closure conversations, because in some situations, you can. They maybe do help somewhat. But the truth is, a lot of you guys who are so persistent on seeking closure, I really don't think you're trying to seek closure. I think you're hoping that the relationship will turn around if a conversation happens. I don't really think you want to move on, because moving on is doing just that. Moving on, okay? I don't need to talk myself to death about the same 5 things that I don't like about a person. You guys carried those conversations in the relationship itself. The relationship fell apart because of these things. So why after 10, 12, 20 days of you guys not speaking, going out contact, do you suddenly want closure? No, you don't want closure. You want to see this person. Check yourself, okay? Grown woman here. Let me help you out, okay? You need to check yourself. You need to move on. The closure is given to yourself. Give it to yourself. Say, you know what? I feel better. I know that my life is going to change. A lot of you guys don't realize you are losing your looks, you're losing your money, you're stopping your bag, you're not really growing and evolving in this relationship literally at all, okay? You guys are completely letting yourselves go. If you're still young, beautiful, smart, resilient, I really, really want you to use that to your advantage. Your life is not over. Do not let society, your friends, your family tell you that, oh, well, now that you're gone or away from that you're never going to find someone again. That is literally so false. And the truth is, I really want you guys to spend this time finding yourself. You don't even know yourself. And I promise you, when you lose a relationship, it's like the best thing that can happen to you. The heartbreak was so necessary for your physical, emotional, and mental glow up. You needed to get better looking. You needed to get smarter. You needed to get wiser. You needed to grow. You needed to evolve. You needed to change. Use this as an opportunity and not as a hindrance. You are not forever, stained. You are not forever sad. It is a moment. It is a season. I need you guys to welcome these moments and seasons into your life. It is completely normal to be sad, to be heartbroken, to feel confused, to be playing things back in your mind. And the truth is, it does get easier. It really does, but it's what you do with the time that makes it easier. I don't want you spending this time lurking, stalking, checking out his stuff, seeing what he's up to. Like, babe, yes, he's moved on. He is sleeping with someone else. I promise. That is literally what men do. Men cannot be alone. The men that are alone usually are men that are very successful and busy. And even that, it's super rare. The men that are bums, dusties, have nothing to offer you, you were so upset in the relationship all the time, usually are the ones that get into relationships the quickest, okay? They cannot be alone. They don't even know themselves outside of being with a woman. Do not take it as an insult that he moved on. Take it as, confirmation that he literally is exactly who you thought he was. The next thing I want to touch on is you will continue to get better looking physically the more you pour into yourself. I really want you, when you're stepping into your womanhood, to not take shortcuts when it pertains to how you look. I used to do this all the time. I would try to find quick ways to look better. I would get my hair done, do my makeup, like cake it on crazy, and buy certain clothes. And listen, like that's a part of it, right? But I really want you to do your internal health, your external health, making yourself genuinely radiate this beauty. I have been tapping into myself the most currently, and I feel the best. And I'm just warning you guys now, this is the worst I'm gonna ever look. Like, I am getting better looking internally and externally every single day. And I swear it's because of the attention I am paying to myself. I truly am not taking shortcuts. I truly am pouring into myself spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, and it radiates. It shows, okay? You guys are, really beautiful women and men. More than likely, it's just a matter of the fact that you're not happy, you're overwhelmed, you're in toxic dynamics, you have a poor friend group, you genuinely just don't even know where to begin when it pertains to taking better care of yourself. I want you to do your research, get on Pinterest, get inspired, find ways. If you guys want to know how I've been doing it recently, is I have been doing my skincare intensively recently. Like, I've never done my skincare the way I do now. I have been losing weight. I have been really investing more into my capsule wardrobe. I have been loving wearing my natural hair and finding ways to style it and knowing what frames my face, my body, and just me overall. The more you get to know yourself, the more you can get to know how well you can put it together, okay? Because if you don't know yourself, you don't even know what looks good on you, how things are gonna look on you, and really where to go. You gotta know your body, every single aspect. What looks good on your fingers? What looks good on your arms, your shoulders, your face, your hair, your feet? Learn it. It is a part of womanhood and it's beautiful. I touched on this in a few videos, but I'm retouching on it, and I saw that Deion Sanders said this and it really resonated with me. And he said, others' opinions of you are not the opinions that you have of yourself. Okay, I don't really care what other people think. You want to step into true womanhood and be resilient and prosperous and beautiful and just really feel it. You gotta not value so much the opinion of others. I do want you to practice a good amount of self-awareness. I want you to understand that yes, there are such things as beauty standards. Listen, I'm not saying it. I'm just telling you what's out there, okay? There's a difference between facts and fiction. That is just a fact. There's beauty standards, there's societal standards. There's, good manners and having, good etiquette, things like that. Like that is important. But the truth is, I want you to find your passion, your creativity, your aura, and radiate that and be that and not really care what other people think of it, because more than likely the people who have so much to say and so much to comment on are really not even remotely close to even pouring into themselves in the slightest. They are just observant people. They are observers. They're not doers. And I really find that to be something that is important to take notice of. We have two types of people out there. We have the people playing the football game, and then we have the people watching. Okay, you gotta know where your place is. If you are working on yourself and you are pouring into yourself, doing the things that you need to do, you're doing your fitness, you're taking care of your appearance, you're loving yourself, you're dating around, you're just getting to know yourself in your most freest, beautiful state. If chatty Kathy over here has something to say about it, well, bitch, I don't care. Like, keep watching and take notes. One thing I don't want you guys to do is allow someone to deter your happiness. Like, a lot of you guys are in really great places and you allow someone to take it away from you. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't. Okay? You gotta stop living in toxic shame. Let me be the big sister to tell y'all to just get the fuck over it. Okay? Please get over it. Yeah, you cheated on your boyfriend when you were in middle school. You kissed him. You were never nice to yourself. You were mean to your sister when you were growing up. You used to say this, that, and the third about people, and you no longer feel that way. Whatever the shame that you carry into your adulthood, please let it go. Okay? Have you done the work? Have you changed? Have you grown? Yes? Well then, babe, please stop bringing that burden with you into today. Yeah, we all did something shitty, and anybody who walks around and says, yeah, like she did that and shit. Babe, please, okay? Please don't throw a stone if you live in a glass house. Most people, 99.9% of people have done something that they're shameful of. It's just truthful. Like, you're not a nun, you're not a priest. Like, you genuinely are just human. Please stop carrying that toxic shame, that vicious cycle of demonizing yourself, because what it does is it prevents you from elevating. It prevents you from shining and magnetizing yourself because you feel like you are not deserving of good things. Oh damn, like I cheated on my high school boyfriend, so that's the reason why I keep meeting bad guys and I don't deserve to be with someone good. Babe, enough. The reason why you keep dating bad guys is because you're attracted to bad guys. It's not karma. You reaped what you sowed already. Please, please, please move on. Okay? The toxic shame gotta go. It's gotta go. And you gotta forgive yourself. And there are so many ways to do this: doing the shadow work, going to therapy, talking to your friends and family, being vulnerable, practicing humility, doing the things that you need to do to grow out of this is so freaking important, okay? You are going to be a wreck and a mess for life if you allow yourself to carry this shame on your back forever. We have all done bad things, but it's how we grow from the experiences that really are telling. I also really want you guys to overcome your toxic ego. A lot of us have it and we don't even realize it. A couple things that I wrote down that pertain to toxic ego is the need to win, the need to be superior, the need to be right, holding grudges. These are all people who have toxic egos. It's time to let it go. I want you to start practicing healthy feminine traits and just being someone who is just calm, cool, and collective, okay? I really want you guys to practice that. It is such a sexy, radiating, grown woman trait to literally just vibe out. You have boundaries, you have standards, you have morals, but you're not even really selling them. You're not even really talking about them because you know they exist because you honor them. You don't need to be so superior, be so great. I can't stand a person who levels with people. You know, the first thing that they do when they see a person is, well, I'm prettier than her. Well, I got more money than her. Well, I drive a better car than her. Bitch, I don't care. Girl, she ain't even competing with you. She ain't even checking for you, babe. The truth is, a person who really understands and knows their power understands and knows that that person isn't even in their lane. They're not even driving in the same city, boo, okay? I have never been so talking down to people that are beneath me because I'm not even thinking about it. I am literally tunnel visioned out in life. You gotta let that go. It is so pathetic, desperate, and honestly insecure because there's clearly something that the person beneath you has that you want, because why are you even worried? Why are you even saying it? What is does not need to be explained. So yeah, babe, you do make more money than her. Yeah, babe, you are prettier than her, even though beauty is very subjective. But that really doesn't need to be overly explained. So that's your toxic ego, your desire to be picked, your need to be, better and superior. No. True womanhood is knowing that everybody can sit at the table. Maybe not your table, but there's room at least one. Okay? And that's just that on that. Now start checking yourself. Start wanting to do things for you. Wanting to be so consumed with what other people got going on is an insecurity, and you gotta check it at the door. Babe, you need to have the last laugh, and the last laugh is truly elevation. I talk about this in a lot of my videos on just not being reactive and just giving people literally nothing, paying it in dust, giving them silence, giving them the treatment of nope. That is it. That is all. And the reason why is because these people aim to trigger you and they want to bring you down to their level. I really don't think you guys understand that when someone who you deem is beneath you is poking you, it's because they want to see you buck up. They want to see you look crazy. They want to see you act wild. That's it. They literally just are so obsessed with getting a reaction out of you. The last laugh is elevation. I used to explain myself so much, okay? I will never forget. I had an argument with a family member almost a decade ago, and, she's not in my immediate family, but she was constantly in the desire to misunderstand me. She didn't want to know me. She didn't care to know me. She just wanted to tell me about myself. And it was a very inaccurate perception. Babe, your perception is not my reality. Instead of, and I was young at the time. If I were to redo this, I would not have went so hard at her. I would not have made my stance and proven myself because I felt like I was stooping to her very insecure loser-like level because she's a loser. If I were to redo that, it would be just simply paying it in dust and having the last laugh in elevation. You can't really comment on anybody when you said they couldn't do something and then they literally go and show you that they did it. It's kind of like oh yeah, bitch, watch me. You guys really gotta let people have their fun with you, have their comments. They're going to say it to your face or behind your back. Either way, your last laugh is elevation, and there's nothing better than that. Because let me tell you something. Those mean girls in high school, those people who constantly were picking on people, those online bullies, that is all they've amounted to. A lot of them are broke as shit, ugly as shit, stupid as shit. And I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like they really lived up to the potential that they were giving themselves, which was to be a mean, terrible person. I promise you, all of my people pleasers, my doormats, my black sheeps, y'all are gonna rise. Y'all are gonna rise. Now is your time, okay? Their perception of you is not your reality. And honestly, it's nobody's reality. Their perception is skewed from self-hate and misery. Pay it in dust. And that is the next thing that I wanted to touch on, and I wrote it down. Your perception is not my reality. And you gotta stop lying to yourself, okay? You guys have to stop lying to yourself because not only is other people's perception of you not reality, but your perception of others is also not reality necessarily. You got to check that at the door, okay? You guys have to understand that not everybody lives the same life as you. Not everybody has the same issues as you, the same, blessings, whatever. And you got to stop only seeing things through your lens, your life lens. I used to spend a lot of time lying to myself about certain things because I was uncomfortable with the truth. So I would just make up my own rules and think that they worked, and they did for a short time, but then reality kicks in. And it shows you, no, actually, there is such thing as like beauty standards, societal standards. Being a certain type of person gets a certain type of treatment. You can lie to yourself all you want, but if you haven't done the work, you're not going to get the lie you're selling to yourself. So you know how everyone says live a delusional era, be delusional, like you're going to get everything you want that way? Yes and no. You can be delusional, but you got to still do the work. You can want crazy, ridiculous things, but please do the work to get yourself there. For me, I would spend a lot of my time, trying to use my very small privileges to my advantage, but in reality, they just weren't strong enough. They were not great enough, because the truth is, I had to do that work. I had to do that healing, that physical healing, that mental healing, that emotional healing. That all needed to change. The spiritual healing. And that is something that really allowed my delusional era to kick in, because now I am starting to reap the benefits of the work I've put in. Okay, so like I said, y'all, your perception is not my reality, and also your perception is not their reality. So you gotta start being more self-aware, doing that self-audit so that you can kind of be in reality and hack it, win at it, and really actually reap the benefits of what's really happening for people. And the last thing that I want to talk about, and I think this is huge, is to stop playing small and making yourself small. A couple ways that you could be making yourself small without even realizing it is having a hard time taking compliments, choosing people who don't choose you, and saying nothing when there really is something. Okay, you guys have to stop acting like a stifled, injured child. And I get it. Like, it comes from trauma. A lot of us were told to shut up. We weren't allowed to talk. We weren't allowed to do this. We weren't allowed to do that. And it manifests itself into very anxiety-ridden, stifled adults who cannot see their potential. They cannot see their blessings. They don't even date good people because they don't think that they deserve it. They aren't speaking up for themselves. They don't communicate properly. These are all things that happen when you allowed your childhood trauma to manifest into adult trauma. Stop playing small. Stop treating yourself like you're small. Honor these things and grow from them. Yes, that was a part of your life, but it doesn't have to be the rest of your life, okay? When I started playing big and treating myself better was when I stopped being confused when somebody would compliment me. People would say things to me and I go, really? Are you sure? Because I was so confused, because it would be like a shooting star, getting a compliment at certain points in my life. So when you're used to it being very hard to get a compliment, when you do start receiving them often, it feels uncomfortable and weird. But I want you guys to nip that in the bud. Trick your mind and say, you know what? I am in the era of receiving compliments, receiving love, receiving passion, receiving respect, receiving my flowers. So when I receive my flowers now, I don't say, oh, I don't deserve it. Oh, it's weird. Oh, y'all are just, oh my God, I can't believe it. No, I can believe it. I do deserve it. And I pour into myself emotionally and spiritually and mentally the way that I get poured into, so that it doesn't feel foreign to me. And that is what I really want you guys to practice and do for yourselves. I hope this video helped you guys. It really will help you guys stepping into your grown womanhood or manhood and just really tapping into your best self. I know that we are all struggling and going through certain seasons, and that's a part of life, and that's normal. And I want you guys to let it happen, let it be, but also do those personal audits and checks to say, you know what? If any of these things resonate today, I'm going to work on those things. I'm going to write about them, and I'm going to talk about them, and I'm going to let them go. I'm going to release them, and I'm going to become the best version of myself. So I hope this helped. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, everyone. Mwah.